Yo, what is going on? Welcome inside the TCO radio studio. This is the Minnesota Vikings Podcast presented by Pepsi. And Brian Asamoah is here along with Cam Bynum, two Minnesota Vikings, just standout defensive players. And if you've been following this podcast, you know that we teased early in the year that BA was going to host a few of these shows. Well, now we're back.
I'm back.
Now he's here. And we got Mr. Beasy. My Life is a Movie.
Ooh.
We're here, baby.
Joining us. Like, This has been an interesting couple of weeks, right? I mean, outside of the two losses, we had Thanksgiving and then we had a bye week. So the two dynamics right there for you guys, what were those 2 weeks like for you? Just trying to, still be present in the moment, but also prepare for a game. And then bye week, you didn't have anything to do.
I think the craziest thing is just having a week 13 bye. Like,
Facts.
That the season's been super long, but we've been trying to stay focused and continue to, attack every single day. That's kind of like the most important thing. But having that bye gives us an opportunity to relax, take care of our body, our mental, and just have a restart. So that's how I kind of see it.
Yeah, I'd say just balance. Obviously, with Thanksgiving happening, you see your family, everybody's out here. And so just knowing that you have to balance because you want to have that time with your family and you also want to stay locked in with football. Same thing with the bye week. You need those days off, but you can't get too far removed from it. So it's been really just a game of, okay, how focused can I stay with making sure I get my time with my people and my time off and using that time to reset, but also staying locked in enough to come back and play hard for these next 5 weeks.
Go ahead. Speaking on family, how was your Thanksgiving, man?
It was smooth. My wife's first Thanksgiving out here. I know
about
that's
to
what
talk
you
about
wanted
that.
to
I was
get.
about to talk about
so I'll
that,
go straight
man.
into it. It was her first Thanksgiving ever. They celebrated in the Philippines somewhat, but it's different having like an American Thanksgiving because that's at the end of the day that's an American holiday. So having her here for that and it'd be her first few weeks out here, being able to just have the family and her experience that she loved it.
Talk about more about how she got here because remember you had a game.
Yeah.
And then obviously that game you went crazy. I think you had two picks.
Yeah, 2 picks.
You should have 5.
Monday night.
Should have 5. Right.
Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Right.
First of all, it's all God. Just setting all that up and making that be the game where I have a big game and go out and use my platform to bring her here and to get the help from the government, from foundations we're working with, and just with everybody that really collectively like retweeting it, stuff simple as that, just to bring the awareness of that and to get her here within 3 weeks because it's been over a year process for us and it's not like we use. It's not like we use a lot of people might think that, he just got it because he's in the NFL. It's like, no, we waited just like other people over a year to try and get her here. So having that actually happen and using the platform and it paying off was like a super reward, and I'm just super grateful to have her here now.
I'm happy for him, man.
Right.
He comes to the facility super happy.
Right.
I'd be happy.
No, but on top of that, though, you now have to adjust to your wife being home, right? Like your first few years in the league, it was a FaceTime. You can kind of just clear your mind, kind of do your own thing. Now having your wife at the house, what has that dynamic been like with trying to focus for a game?
I think it makes it easier. Now I don't have because my biggest thing when she was in the Philippines and we'd do FaceTime, I'd give her undivided attention. So if we're on FaceTime, I'm not sitting there watching film because if I'm watching film, I'm locked in and I'll zone out and I can't. It's hard for me to have a full conversation if I'm watching tape. So really, it got easier because now we're able to just sit and chill. And not have to. We're still spending time together, but I can still multitask and study and do certain things versus being stuck to my phone on FaceTime. So little small things like that. My routine hasn't changed. I'm still one of the last guys up here.
In this building.
Hours, which I apologize to her for that, but she understands. Like this is my process, and this is my she knows like this is what's gonna feed our future kids. This is what's gonna put them through school and whatever. It's like that's what I have to do. So those are non-negotiables, and she understands that. So I'm grateful, but it's it really hasn't changed. It's really gotten easier having her here.
That's good, man. I mean, I've obviously seen the work dude's been putting in, and you see it shown on Sundays, and I'm extremely proud of you, happy for you, man. Continue balling. Get him his Pro Bowl votes, guys, because he's got 99 tackles.
Crazy.
That leads all safeties in Wow.
Yeah, I've been running the ball. And then my thing, that's it. I'm going to just not get tired in the game. This offseason, that was my biggest thing I wanted to focus on was my tackling. Yeah, I had a few missed tackles this past year, my second season, more than it was my standard. So I was like, that's the biggest thing because my transition from corner to safety, tackling is way different. So
because you was a
my whole life. I played corner my whole life until I got to the league. So really last year being my first year as a full-time starter, I saw that it's way different than playing corner, just the angles and everything. So that's what I focused on this year. And now we have 5 games left, and that 99 tackles now, I'm trying to get at least 130, 140.
130?
That's the goal.
You're trying to break a record.
I'm trying to break some type of record.
I think, who's got the most tackles as a safety?
As a safety, I'm sure Troy Polamalu was up there. Ed Reed, Jamal Adams. That year that he had that Pro Bowl year in New York. With the greats. But, you said you never had 100 tackles in your life.
Never. I think the most I had last year was 81. Still missed a lot of tackles, so could have had more. Mm-hmm. And I was playing corner. I was getting 60, and that was the team high. I had the most tackles besides the linebackers.
This was at Cal?
At Cal. I had 60, 70 tackles as a corner. So I was in the mix, but now it's different. So. And
you were 24 at Cal?
Yeah.
Quick story, guys.
Okay.
Quick story.
He's still salty.
Quick story. So I got drafted.
Okay.
I seen that I think 24 was open because you was 43 your rookie year. So I'm like, I'm coming in. I'm about to get 24 just like college.
You knew it.
Man, they asked me what number. They said 33, 37. I'm like, hold on. Like, what happened to 24? Cam Bynum took it. And at the time, I didn't know who he was.
Who's Cam Bynum? He's not even a starter.
I didn't know who he was. Cam who? Like, he had a pick last year. Okay.
One pick. It was like, whatever.
So then, fast forward, I get back here. I meet Cam, great guy. Still try to get it off of him. He's not going. But looks like you're doing great things, and then I'm super proud of you.
Yeah, you look swaggier in 33 swaggier.
So what was that conversation like? Like, do you go up to him first and say, like, look, or is it just you kind of let it be?
It was really casual. I was like, yo, what's up with that 24? He's like,
I just got it. I had to go through my ugly year being in 43, so I'm like, I can't give this up now.
BA, I know we got it on the sheet, just the Pac-12 football, right? Both you went to a Pac-12 school at Cal. In this upcoming year's bowl game at Oklahoma, you guys play Arizona. Mm-hmm. Just the history of the Pac-12, just understanding that this is the last year that we'll ever see this conference. Yeah. Like, how crazy is that, just understanding that?
It's weird that a whole Power 5 conference is getting erased.
Yeah.
I thought, from my understanding, okay, just a few teams are going to move and some other teams will fill in and still be the Pac-12. I don't know exactly how it's going to work in the future, but that's what I thought. And now they're saying, like, that's the end of the Pac-12 conference. But I'm glad Cal won the last Pac-12 game in existence. They beat UCLA for the last game in Pac-12 history, so we left off on a good mark.
If you think about it, think about all the conferences, SEC, Big 12, Big 10. You're like, what is Pac-12? You know what I'm saying?
With all due respect?
With all due respect. No disrespect. Shout out to all the great guys that came out of the
Pac-12. There's a
lot of great players, for sure.
I was thinking of Reggie Bush.
Man. But I think it was time to really cancel that Pac-12 conference and really just put them in a conference where they can, compete at and fight for championships because, it's been a long time since the Pac-12 team won a championship.
Yes. What about about schools that say that about the Big 12?
With no defenses over there.
I would say Oklahoma is really like its own conference.
Okay.
Teams want to play us. But
now in the past,
you're going to the SEC.
We're going to the SEC, and I'm super excited to see us compete. See us compete against these top-notch SEC teams. So it's going to be fun, and college football is going to be fun. I just hope they change how they do the committee, because what happened in Florida State was actually pretty crazy.
That's insane.
That's
actually you get bumped
crazy.
Out.
Undefeated.
You did nothing wrong.
Undefeated.
You did nothing wrong. You get bumped out. That's insane to me.
Well,
but it sells.
Didn't the committee say it takes they weigh the fact that if you have key players that aren't going to play, that goes into the selection process.
No matter if Jordan Travis is playing or not, them boys played 12 games. And won every single one of them. And I think we kind of forget that winning is the most important thing, while we're playing the sport.
That's true.
So I think those guys should have got rewarded, despite losing their quarterback, because they definitely took advantage of going out there and defeating their opponent every single week. So
I look at it as I'm a little biased, right? I grew up a Florida State fan, and I went to Liberty. So my thing is like, all right, if you put Florida State in, you got to put Liberty in. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Look, I'm a big, just a realist. And for us to get Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl, it's like, look, this is probably the best we're going to get. But still, Florida State, you look at that and say, if your quarterback isn't playing, how key is that to future games? I look at it and say, well, maybe the playoff committee made a decision best for the fans instead of best for what's actually going on. 13-0 team should automatically get in. But if you look at Florida State when they played Louisville with their third-string quarterback, they were running Wildcat with their running back to start the second half.
Yeah,
so,
that's not attractive.
Defense still played good, I think.
That's true.
The defense still played good. And, I think this, like, all right, let's talk about the Oklahoma team. You know what I'm saying? Having Kyler Murray, God forbid, but, like, let's say Kyler Murray would have got hurt. You still would have put an undefeated Oklahoma team because it's Lincoln Riley, and you would want to see who the backup is and how Lincoln Riley can shake with that. So I think, honestly, you just give them an opportunity, man, and they took advantage of every opportunity they had this season.
Yeah.
Why not give them one more?
It does carry weight beating the number one team, though, kind of.
Yeah.
In Bama's, to be devil's advocate, it kind of does carry some weight to knock them off.
I thought it would go who's the number one team now?
Michigan.
Michigan.
Wait, so Georgia got bumped out the whole thing?
Got bumped
Yeah.
out, yeah. Texas is – I know you don't want to hear that, but Texas is a 3 seed now.
I don't think Texas – I think –
Why?
I'm done.
Why not?
I'm done.
Bias.
We had an opportunity. We didn't take advantage of all our opportunities.
True.
And we could have put ourselves in the position to go out there and compete for a Big 12 championship, but we didn't. So I got nothing to say about Texas other than we beat them in week 6 where it mattered the most.
Well, speaking of championships, this Vikings team still has an opportunity to win the ultimate championship. And when we get back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit of Vikings football and how we see this NFC North or NFC picture kind of playing itself out as the season goes on. So we'll be right back with more on the Minnesota Vikings podcast with Brian Asamoah and our guy Cam Bynum.